It is never too late to start living your life by design. Hey, it has been a minute, a hot minute, since I've done an episode. Life has been lifing as it tends to do sometimes, but I am back. I am back with a good one for you. So today we're focusing on a critical aspect when building your fashion business. We're going to talk about developing a unique value proposition for your brand. There's been so much talk recently on social media lately about how challenging it is to get traction as a new business who is competing against all of these other entities that are entering the marketplace. And some people are getting discouraged, but that's, in my opinion, premature. So premature. For example, I'll tell you about two in particular that I saw, and there's so many others, but these two stood out amongst the others. One business owner has been at it. She's been going hard for 10 months, 10 whole months, and she has not seen any traction. She's not getting people to her page. She's not getting people, she's not getting the sales that she's looking for. So she put out a query on one of the platforms, and she said, "You know what? I'm about to give up. I've been doing this for 10 months and nothing's happening. What am I doing wrong? Maybe I shouldn't be a business owner." And maybe when you hear that, you want to laugh as well because, hello, 10 months? 10 months is such a short time to be in business, to be an entrepreneur. Uh, and then there was another one where this particular business owner was at it for 10 days. 10 days. And they were starting to get discouraged. And I think that a lot of this is happening because of this microwave society that we now live in, where everybody just wants everything at the tip of their fingers. They think it, they put it out there, and they want a result right away without considering what it really takes to attract a customer to your brand, what it really takes to position your brand so that it's valuable amongst all the others that are out there trying to get a piece of that market share as well. So if you are a new business owner, this is going to be a good episode for you, because one of the keys, one of the things that these businesses were missing. And you know what? The one who was in business for 10 months did admit that she was believing the hype that she had seen on social media about people, taking off within months and making all this money in this short period of time. But what she and others are missing, and what you may need to tighten up for yourself, for your own brand, depending on what stage of business you're in, is your brand promise. What is your brand promise? What is your brand value? What makes your brand unique so it stands out amongst a sea of others and attracts that customer that is waiting for you to actually show up and show her that she's seen? What so many brands are missing is that definitive value proposition. It's one of the keys to setting your business apart from every other. I don't care if they're selling the same exact types of dresses or pants or skirts or jumpsuits or children's wear or outerwear. It doesn't matter. Your unique value proposition, how you position your brand and how you show up in the marketplace, is what is going to make you shine and make others attracted to what you're offering. So we're going to also explore in our time together today the journey of one popular designer who has this down to a science. I want you to take a look at her brand. A couple things that you're going to be able to take notes on, and if you're a note taker, pull out that notepad now. 5 things I want you to think about. What is your brand superpower? How do you dial into your audience? Are you speaking in a way that they can understand? Are you speaking their language? Do you understand who they are and how they move? And do you test? Are you agile with your brand? Are you adapting to the market and tweaking and refining when necessary to make sure that your messaging is still on point? Because customers and the market fashion industry continues to evolve. We're all evolving every single month, every year. We're changing, we're growing. Everything is ebbing and flowing as life does. So, testing and being adaptable is another great key. I'm excited to dive into this episode, but before we go all the way in, I want to be sure you've heard about the label launch blueprint. Staying stuck in DIY mode has caused too many talented designers to burn out. So, after decades of experience in the fashion industry, I've taken all of my brand, design, sample development, marketing, and production expertise and put together an easy to follow step by step roadmap so you can take the guesswork out of your launch strategy. No more going around in circles, wondering what to do when and how to do it, and not having support along the way. I want you to give yourself the gift of clarity. Head over to cmdesignagency.com/label launch blueprint for more info, and I cannot wait to connect with you. Now let's get back to it. So the first question I have for you is, what is your brand's superpower? Understanding and articulating your brand's unique value proposition is crucial. It defines what you stand for. It shows customers, whether they're core customers or peripheral customers, it shows everyone what you even stand against. And it makes very clear why customers should choose your brand, choose to spend their dollars with your business over the competition. Your unique value proposition, your UVP, let's call it, should reflect your brand's identity, your brand values, and the distinctive benefits that you offer. So, a question you can ask yourself right now is, who will benefit from your collection? How are they benefiting from your collection? What need or interest is it serving for your customer? Now, whether it is your design aesthetic, maybe you have a distinct point of view and it shows up in everything you do. Maybe you are a brand that uses florals in a unique way, or you use fluid drapey fabrics in a unique way, or maybe you are focused on sustainable practices or exceptional craftsmanship, specific details that always show up in your collection. Whatever it is, your UVP should resonate clearly with your target audience. It should be like a beacon call to them every time you put out a new piece of content, or you do a new video, or you drop a new collection, a new capsule. And you want to ensure that it aligns with their expectations of your brand and fits beautifully and seamlessly into their lifestyle. Now, developing this UVP involves some introspection. I mean, it doesn't just happen. You have to be interested in the market that you're serving and get a real understanding of how she moves, how he moves, why that's important to them. It starts, though, by defining your brand's mission, because who you are as a brand and who they are as a customer go hand in hand. So, what do you aim to achieve in the long term? How do you plan to stand out and serve her at the highest level? How do you plan to show up in the marketplace as the brand that promised to do such and such and always does such and such? Promised to show up as such and such and always gives the customer such and such. This could also involve a unique design philosophy or ethical manufacturing processes or a commitment to environmental sustainability. Whatever it is, your UVP should be a clear, concise statement that captures the essence of what makes your brand unique, and more importantly, what makes it valuable and appealing to your customers. Now, in order to communicate the value of your brand, you do have to show up in the marketplace. You have to put out those posts. You have to put out that messaging. You have to be present, and not just once a month. You got to be present often. It doesn't have to be every day. If we'll do another episode on social media and posting and all that jazz, but you have to be present. You have to show up, and your brand voice has to be recognizable. You have to be bold with it. And most of all, be clear about what message you're putting out there, what your brand, once again, stands for, and why it's meaningful and necessary right now. Now, once your UVP is defined, it's crucial to communicate it, like I said, on social media, but that's not the only place. You want to be consistent across all channels. Take a holistic look at how you're showing up everywhere. How are you showing up on your website or on your landing page? If they go from your social media to your landing page, to your website, to any piece of content, is it consistent? Do you have the same kind of mood going on in every place that you're showing up? Is your packaging aligned? Are your labels making sense for the brand that you say you are? How are you standing out and making this thing your own so that you're known for these seemingly small but personal moves that your brand is making? And that's not saying that it has to be an exceptionally expensive and luxurious type of packaging. It's the small nuances that matter. So many things can be done in a manageable way once you know the messaging that you want to put out there. Once you understand who you want to be, then you could take the steps to curate everything so you stand out from the competition. Every touch point with your customer, every place they find you and your brand, even if it's an interview you do on a podcast, every place they hear you talking about it, they should feel what you're bringing to the table. Whether it's a post or an ad, if you're that advanced, I don't recommend ads early on in the process, okay, until after you've built some traction and have proven your business model. And, another conversation for another day. Every touch point is an opportunity to reinforce your brand's value and deepen that customer loyalty. Now, let's take a look at the brand Stella McCartney. Stella McCartney is an independent designer known for her commitment to sustainability. Her unique value proposition is not just about fashion, it's about ethical fashion. Everything her brand does screams that from the rooftops. For example, her pledge to go feather free, or her SOS capsule collection, which was a call to action for Earth Day, or this movement to redefine raffia. Are you familiar with raffia? I mean, we know raffia. Remember those straw bags from when you were a kid that were everywhere? Okay, well, hello. Now she's calling it the natural fiber for contemporary luxury. And let me tell you, these are not your mama's raffia bags. They're beautiful. The amount of detail and construction in it speaks for itself. By integrating sustainable practices into every element of her design and her production process, McCartney has not only created a brand that stands out for its commitment to the environment, but also resonates deeply with a growing demographic of eco-conscious consumers. And I know a lot of designers these days are similar. They want to be part of the solution for all of the waste in the industry. So a question you want to ask yourself is, does my brand deliver on the value proposition on what my brand promises? Stella McCartney's successes demonstrate in plain sight how a well-defined and executed UVP can attract and retain a dedicated customer base. So implementing your UVP for your brand, your unique value proposition, requires alignment throughout your organization. It's not just in what you're putting out there on social media for everybody to see. It goes from design to production, what happens on the back end, to marketing and sales, customer service. Every department should understand and embody the core values of your UVP. This kind of internal alignment assures that your brand promise is delivered consistently, and that helps to build trust and credibility with not just your audience, but those who are watching your brand grow. I mean, you may have an opportunity to grow way larger than you imagine. You never know who's watching. So, in conclusion, your UVP is sort of like a foundation upon which your brand is built. It's like your brand persona is a major part of your brand persona. right? It's what makes your brand relevant, differentiated, and credible. You want to craft it carefully. Take that time. Take that time to unpeel the layers and figure out what's important to you and how that connects with what's important to your customers. And then communicate it consistently. And your business will begin to not only attract, but keep loyal customers. So let's review those 5 steps we started with. All right. Number one, if I was to ask you what your superpower is, what would you say it is? After hearing all of this and just knowing what you know about your business already, what makes your brand unique in the marketplace? And how do you know it's unique? Have you researched your competitors? Do you know who your core customer base is buying from already? Do you know what makes you on the same market level, but different and unique compared to those brands? What makes you special? I know you already know it. It's really not as hard as it may seem to figure this out. You literally just have to take the time to hear yourself and listen to yourself and tap into the thing that you know you're meant to do. Number 2 is understand who your target audience is so that you can refine that brand messaging. Number 3, you want to effectively communicate your UVP. You could start to figure this out right now by making a short list of the benefits of your collection, of the benefits of your brand. And number 4, we took a look at how Stella McCartney leverages her UVP and how she differentiates herself as a go-to provider for this kind of excitement and value in the market. So many brands are interested in operating in an eco-conscious way and being sustainable, but nobody does it like her. Case in point, there can be a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen brands doing the same thing as you do it, but nobody will do it how you do it. All right? So don't let that stop you. Number 5 was refinement. It's the final piece of the puzzle. Never stop refining your brand persona and making sure that everything you do as a brand is aligned with your brand promise. As you familiarize yourself more with your core customer, you can gather feedback and stay flexible. What worked for the first 10 months might need some tweaking for the next 10 months, and that's okay. All right, keep your ear to the ground and just keep moving forward and keep improving every step of the way. I hope this episode inspires you to not get discouraged by the fact that success takes time, okay? Continue to refine your brand's unique value proposition so you can carve out your special, unique, amazing niche in the fashion industry. Because the truth is, there is still enough for everybody. Don't let anybody ever tell you that the market is so saturated and there's no room for a brand like yours. That's lies. There's absolutely room for everybody who is determined enough to go the long haul, to do the work. All right? A strong UVP is a key to that success. So keep pushing those boundaries. Be you. Show up bravely so you can build the brand you've always dreamed of. Thank you for tuning in to the Life by Design show. We welcome your feedback, so if you enjoyed today's episode, please like, subscribe, leave a review, or share it with your friends. And if there's someone you think I should consider bringing in for a combo, send me a DM on social. Thank you again, and I'll see you on the other side.